If you're looking for a really unique and stylish moped-style e-bike, the Hidoes B10 might just be the bike you're looking for. This has sort of a classic modern chopper look to it. They call this a cowboy-style bike, and you can see it's got a alligator skin-looking simulated leather seat on it. It's got a little bag to carry your things with you, and it's got a cool-looking chopper gas tank on it where the battery lives. So I'm going to do a quick overview here and just go over all the basic details, and then we'll get into the specifics later on in the video. So you can see it is a moped-style e-bike with 20x4 tires. It's got mechanical disc brakes on the front. It has a suspension fork with a double preload, so you can crank the springs down on both sides. There is an adjustable stem on it. I really like that angle, so you can make it higher or lower depending on whether or not you're tall or short. Being a tall guy, I really appreciate that. Comes with this bag that you can take on or off the bike. It's Velcroed on there, but it's just great for hauling your stuff. I've got a lock and the tools that came with the bike in there, and instead of having to unbuckle it, it's got a little snap there, so you just snap it back in place when you want to shut it, and you snap it back open when you're ready to open it back up again. It is a single-speed bike, and there is a chain guard, which I wish was on more of these bikes to keep your pants out of the gears, and did a good job of hiding the cables. They're either routed through the frame or they're all in that big red gas tank, so you don't see a lot of wires hanging off of this bike. And then there's a good look at that simulated leather contoured chopper seat with a shock absorber down here to absorb some of the road shock. It is very thin. We'll go over that more in the road test. And here in the back wheel, I really like the single-piece kind of mag wheel feature here. I've had spokes get loose on e-bikes before, on a couple of different e-bikes where it's kind of scary where the spokes get all loose. But on a single solid wheel like this, you're not going to have any problems with the spokes getting loose. It'll just always be straight and true. It's a 1,000-watt motor, 48-volt, 12.5 amp hour battery is in that red simulated gas tank. And you can see the profile of the gas tank leaves enough room for your knees when you're pedaling. And another feature I wish every e-bike had is good coverage fenders. So it's got metal fenders on the front and rear that do a great job of keeping all the sand and mud and everything off of me while I'm riding this thing on the beach. So good job there, guys. And you can see here there's a quick disconnect for the rear wheel. So should you have a flat tire, there's one zip tie you have to cut and then just pull that plug and then you can take the wheel off. So that's good also. Some of these bikes, it's hard to get the back wheel off and unplug. And up in the cockpit, you've got premium bolt-on grips, you've got a twist throttle, and then a pretty standard e-bike controller that's really easy to use with all of the controls there at your left thumb. Now here's a look at the controller. It's got these 4 buttons. There's up, down, information, and headlight and power. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pedal assist modes. It's a cadence sensor, so as soon as you start pedaling, even if you're not helping the bike, it'll give you full power on any one of those 5 modes. You just quick press the headlight button to turn on the headlight. And there's a whooshing mechanical brake lever and a bike bell. And then down at the front wheel, they are JAK mechanical disc brakes. I've used these before, and they work fine. They do a good job of stopping the bike. I'm actually a cable disc brake fan. Once you learn how to maintain them, they're cheaper and I think more reliable than hydraulics. And the tires are Airy Sun K rubber tires. I've never heard of them, but they've got really good tread for the street. You know, it's thick enough where you're less likely to get a flat. They roll pretty smooth. And if you're not going to go off-road, I think that's way better than the knobbies you get on a lot of these e-bikes. And then here's a look from the back. You'll notice that there is no tail light on the back. They did send me one that I can snap on that is controlled. Whoa, surf's up, buddy. It was a great day to be out in the ocean. Great day for beach cruising as well. But there is a super bright headlight on the front. Here's what that headlight looks like at night and what the AAA battery clip-on red light in the back looks like at night as well. And to give you a sense of perspective, this is the B10 e-bike next to a 26-inch beach cruiser. So it's pretty much the size of a beach cruiser. And if you're into cruising on the beach and you're 6 feet tall, this is what you would look like. So a 6-foot-tall person fits fine on this bike. You can see how we raised the handlebars. That really helps a lot. And then here we are zipping around the neighborhood. I'm following him on my 750-watt, 48-volt other e-bike, and I'm able to keep up with them just fine. And they're pretty similar in power. We top out at about 29 miles an hour in this clip, and that's a pretty good speed. You can see how stable it is at that speed. All right, pedal assist 5, full throttle. No pedaling. This is on a flat road with no wind, and I am 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. And it tops out at 28 miles an hour. This is the hill climb test. Pedal assist 5, full throttle, no pedaling. Starts out gradual, and then it gets steeper. And this is a pretty typical hill that you'd find in most places. You know, it's not super steep, but it definitely requires some work if you're on a regular bike. And this bike's able to get up at in double-digit speeds, which is great. That's, you're seeing that's 18, 19 miles an hour. So that is awesome. But if you watch my other videos, you know I like to take my bikes on this super steep hill. This is a real test. My 500-watt bird bike actually can't even get up this hill unless I'm pedaling it. It just makes sad sounds. So here's this bike, full throttle, no pedaling, pedal assist 5. Pump it up. And again, I'm 200 pounds, I'm 6 feet tall, and it is grinding its way up the hill. I think it's important to go all the way up the hill in this video and just show you how it behaves, because some bikes kind of cut out towards the top and some get faster. So this one, you're looking at, what does that say, 7 miles an hour, 6 or 7 miles an hour. So it does grind its way up the hill. Not as fast as a Harley, obviously, but it does get you to the top. It's using all of its horsepower, however many horsepower it has, to grind its way to the top. But if you are a person who lives on steep hills, and if your legs don't work well enough to help it along, you can still get up the steepest of steep hills on this thing. All right, we're almost there. I don't want to stop till the top. Every bike video review I do, we take it all the way to the stoplight up there. So just to show a long, prolonged climb, what it would look like on this particular e-bike. So we made it. There's the hill climb. And going downhill at full throttle, it tops out at 30 miles an hour. So wind resistance, electrical resistance, whatever kind of resistance that is, 30 is the top speed when I'm bombing down a big hill. And I did get 24 miles of range out of the battery when it died on me. And it handles great for a hardtail. This is the cornering and braking test. So you can see I'm in over 20 miles an hour here. I'm going to crank into a right-hand turn, and it's stable, gets me around the corner just fine. Don't feel scared at all. So it's chopper aesthetics, but it's got regular kind of sport bike handling. And then if I hit the brakes, it stops me real quick. And it's just perfect for ripping around town, especially a beach town where you can kind of slice through traffic, dive bomb down an alley, and take the back way to the beach and just sort of circumvent traffic. It's so frustrating to go to the beach in a car. So having this thing around, and then once you get on the beach, using it as a beach cruiser. You see all those fools looking for parking places where they got to pay whatever it is, 10 bucks an hour to park. I'm just slipping right through, moving right straight up to the sand, and having a perfect day on this electric bicycle. And if I'm going to ride on the bike path, I try to go normal bike speeds. So with pedal assist 1, you can see you can pedal a little bit, feel like you're helping out, and it'll kind of chug along at 10 or 11 miles an hour. You get a little bit of exercise, and you're not scaring the little kids or running over anybody. And then you can kick it up to pedal assist 2 if you want a little more speed. And then pedal assist 3 is probably as high as I would go on the bike path. So if we kick it up to 2 here, you can see I get a little more top speed in the 13 mile an hour range. And then if we want to go one more, 13, 14 miles an hour, applying about the same amount of effort with my legs. It's a single speed bike, but it feels good at these speeds, just cruising along. I feel like I'm helping it. I can get some exercise if I push harder. Otherwise, I can just be lazy and spin the pedals. And then pedal assist 3, you can see is 17 miles an hour. So that's how fast a fast guy on a bike would go, like a road bike guy or a fast mountain bike guy. 16, 17 miles an hour is pedal assist 3. So you can cruise slow, you can cruise fast, and you can kind of blend in with your surroundings and not really bother the locals. So people at Hidoes really wanted me to ride this bike in the sand, so I give them what they want. Why not? There's a lot of sand that blows over the bike path, like you can see here. So we do get a lot of sand on the bike path, and it cruises through it just fine. Now, in terms of riding in deep sand, an e-bike like this, you'd probably want to let most of the air out of the tires to really do this well. So we're going to find out here, put it in pedal assist 5, and just jump off the bike path into the deep sand and see if I go over the handlebars or see just how far I can get in regular sand. I'd advise standing up on the pedals when you do this to maintain your balance. And it's pretty slow going, so you actually do need to pedal as well. But that did probably as well or better than any other regular e-bike of this size. Now, wet sand is harder than dry sand. So if you can get down to the wet part of the sand by the actual ocean, you can cruise along pretty good at 4, 5, 6 miles an hour. And the hardness of the sand is increased by being wet. So you can actually do this if you want to. Probably the salt water is probably not great for the bike, but you can definitely do it. And then if you just need to get the bike across a bunch of sand, if you walk next to it and use the throttle, it's real easy. It drives itself along real nice without all that extra weight on it. Whoa, 30 people are on the beach making a movie. There's no way the video they're making is as good as this video you're watching right now. And they've left the snack table unattended. I wonder if I could swoop by and catch myself a free lunch while I'm out here riding around. And here's a look at the suspension in slow motion. The fork works great and really sucks up the bumps. You can see the back seat really kicks me up in the air. And if we measure the grease marks on the fork, it's 100 millimeters of travel on the fork, and then the seat is 30 inches high.
There is some padding on the seat. I'd equate it to about the same as I have on my mountain bike seat.
I rode 50 miles on this bike, and it is a very hard seat. So I'm decided to put a Beach Cruiser gel seat cover on it. It doesn't look great, but it helps a lot. And you also could use a motorcycle style seat cover as well. They do make them for motorcycles. You just need to know the length and width of the seat and then order one that fits that size. And I know there are motorcycles with this size seat, so that's easy to find.
And I also put a 125 millimeter air shock on the back so that it rides high, and then when you sit on it, it levels out and you kind of ride on a cloud of air with it. So here's the original factory suspension in slow motion. You can see it shoots me up in the air, and you can see how much better it is when I put the decent air shock on the back. You can see it sucking up the bump there, and I get a lot less bounce.
But hitting a speed bump at 15 miles an hour is kind of an extreme example. This is what it looks like just cruising around a parking lot. So you really feel the difference if you put an air shock on the back. You're riding on a cloud and all the little bumps get smoothed out. So I would definitely advise it. I don't know if I bought the right size. Maybe 110 millimeter would have been better. It seems like it's a little high in the back, so you'll have to choose wisely. And here's a look at the packaging. It was all very well packaged and well protected, so they did a good job of packaging it. Unboxing videos are kind of boring, so I'm not going to show the full assembly, but basically put the handlebars and the front wheel on and you're done. Here's what comes with it. You get your user manual. You get a light that you can attach to the back of it, powered by AAA batteries. There's a bell. There is even a tire pump along with it, and you get a charger, which is UL listed. That's important. You would definitely want to make sure that if you're buying an e-bike, you get something that's safe. You charge the battery with this little port right here, and you cannot remove the battery from the bike. It stays on there permanently. And all the tools you need to assemble the bike are included. I ended up keeping them on the bike just in case something breaks down in the future. And here's what the light looks like when it's installed. It's got a clip, so you could clip it onto your belt, and it comes with a mounting bracket that you can put on the bike, and then you can clip it on and off like this. And there's your light. The price of this bike is $1,019 on the website right now. I don't know if that will change in the near future, but the question for you is this bike right for you? I guess if you're a chopper guy and you like this kind of style, then this is really the only e-bike I've seen that is this cool and awesome in the chopper world. So if you like it, buy it. If you don't, look at some of their other bikes. They have a bunch of different styled bikes that you might like. Link in description. Thanks for watching.